In one of my recent Akashic Records readings, I was thrilled that my client's main starseed origin was one that I haven't read in detail before, so that I have the opportunity to explore and learn something new. Thanks to their Akashic Records gatekeeper, they generously share with me all about the traits of an Aquila Starseed and their social structure. As I'm engaging with them, I then realized I've actually had one past reading where their origin is Arcturian, but they spent significant lifetimes in Aquila. And now I can draw the similarities between these two readings and draw from these experiences as well. Aquila is the constellation that forms a bird shape. To start, the name Aquila means eagle in Latin, and in Greek mythology, the eagle is known to be the carrier of Zeus' Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt is usually a symbol of instant transformation, so it is apt that the Aquila carries the Thunderbolt to the places in need of deep transformation and sharp insight. The brightest star in Aquila is Altair, along with Vega and Deneb, forms the summer triangle. If you want to take a look of the summer triangle, since this is when it's the brightest, you can search online about what hours it is most prominent in your city and look for Altair in your summer skies right now. Aquila Starseeds are mostly humanoid or humanoid with avian blueprints. Like our human blueprint, theirs was also seeded from Lyra or the Lyran constellation. The most common starseed groups on Earth includes Pleiadian, Sirian, Arcturian, Lyran, Andromedan, and so by contrast, it is much rarer to meet someone from Aquila, but alas, Aquilan and Altairian starseeds have been here since the time of Lemuria. Whether you are exploring your own starseed origins or if you are a fellow Akashic Records reader and channeler, my intention is to share what I discovered so that we can expand on each other's information. When talking about starseeds, it's never a one-size-fits-all. It's kind of like humans. We're not all the same. But the analogy I like to use is, if a starseed has never been to Earth, I feel like I can describe to them what humans are like, so they can have a general idea. And so with my starseed videos, consider the traits and characteristics a general portrait of the starseed group, but it's in no way comprehensive or a one-size-fits-all. So please take what resonates with you and leave the rest. When I tune in to Aquilans or Altairians in the Akashic Records, they almost feel angelic because of their winged nature and the avian blueprints. It's kind of an orderly structure, very organized and harmonic. If you ever work with angels, you might resonate with this. The angels, they are super put together, very orderly, very perfect. So you would never catch them off guard or see something that's out of place or messy. So this is based on my personal experience, and my 2 cents is that if you ever work with angels or Aquilans and you see something disorderly or messy, it's a giveaway that they're not who they say they are. Beware. Similar to birds moving in sync or in formation, Aquilans have the vibe where it is orderly and disciplined. Perhaps due to the proximity of Lyra, it also feels a little bit like Lyra, where it's more organic technology rather than high-rise, high-tech buildings. Everything is just more artistically incorporated with the landscape. If I'm comparing and contrasting Aquilans to Lyrans, Lyrans feel a bit more nonchalant about order compared to Aquilans or angels. In contrast, Aquilans are much more into discipline, both societal discipline and self-discipline. Unsurprisingly, Aquilans tend to have extremely high standards for themselves and others. You may have heard the term eagle eye precision, and I would say that's a dominant trait for most Aquilans and Altairians. Their extremely sharp observational skills paired with both intellectual and visual acuity. Aquilans are into deep diving into areas of interest versus superficial explorations. Aquilans are renowned as the galactic keepers of history and messengers, and they can assist in reweaving broken or lost knowledge. They're naturally skilled at having esoteric insights and foresight. They're naturally good at communication, both verbal and in writing. What I received is that they go on explorations to learn deeply or serve as messengers and missionaries of peace and harmony. Armed with deep knowledge, they are keen on preventing descendant timelines from repeating themselves. If you meet an Aquilan, they tend to feel more serious, especially about the area of their interests and passions. It's unlikely they will seem flippant or nonchalant about things. You will likely find them deep into their research about something. What I got from the Akashic Records is that Aquilans are fiercely independent but also loyal to their friends and family. You can say that they enjoy their solitude, but it doesn't mean that they don't have an active social life and community as well. Perhaps because they value their own thinking and passions, that they tend to spend more time on their own. They embody beauty, freedom, and strength. They tend to be tall and enjoy connecting with nature, both in the mountains, in the water, and the vast territories. Their home life, aka their nest, is very important. It's a sanctuary and they protect it fiercely. Instead of a big city, they reside in clusters or communities in their respective territories. The eagle eye precision helps them with research and having deep insights, but it is what makes eagles fantastic hunters. Similarly, Aquilans are natural hunters in our modern day society. The skill is used for deep diving and goal-getting purposes, which is why you won't be surprised if Aquilans are successful in their fields. The eagle eye is also for foresight. They are incredibly good at predicting trends. Their foresight plus their deep love of knowledge makes their predictions accurate. So if you have an Aquilan or Altairian friend, maybe it's good to heed their advice years before it becomes an actual trend. One thing that I had gained while channeling and preparing this video is that Aquilans are actually really good with languages and telepathy, and that has to do with deep understanding. This is because of their deep study of ancient knowledge and how they tend to act as messengers or like interstellar diplomats. While Aquilans are fewer in numbers here on Gaia, I wouldn't be surprised if there are disproportionately more Aquilans working in diplomacy or international business. I wouldn't be surprised if they're focusing on clean energy technology, ecological restoration, as well as spiritual technologies. If you may want to self-discover more about Aquila, and if you want to have a connection to Aquila, this is what I would suggest. Pay attention to birds, to symbolism, and signs like feathers. Perhaps in a meditation you can consider tuning into Aquila, or try out an eagle flight visualization, which may help trigger or open up the channels for downloads. And as I was filming, I had another idea. There are bird preserves and sanctuaries, and maybe you can visit or interact with hawks, just those large birds, and tap into their energy. You can also consider writing in your journal before going to bed. What messages can I receive from Aquila and Aquilans? Are there any hidden wisdom or downloads for me? Lastly, just for fun, I want to see if there are any famous celebrities with Aquila Starseed origins. And I went down of a list of possibly 8 celebrities that I thought could be Aquilan, and unsurprisingly, only one of them is actually from Aquila. Due to their small numbers, they are not common. Just a reminder, if you haven't watched my other Starseed videos, I did not access their personal Akashic records because I would need their consent. descent, but because they are public figures, that means they have public profiles in the records that I can access through Mother Gaia's records. Think of what I'm reading as a telephone book listing or a Wikipedia page equivalent of their records inside the Akashic Records. And all I did was go in and gain permission to read their public records and ask, are they Aquilan or not? That's it. I didn't read anything else. The Akashic Record guides know that I'm sharing this for educational and entertainment purposes, and me sharing this with you won't change anything in that person's trajectory. They're just going to keep doing their thing in their full sovereignty. So I hope that makes sense. So who is it? It is Cate Blanchett. Are you surprised? What do you think? I went to her actual Wikipedia page to get her birthday and birth city details, and after confirming that this is the record I'm opening up and that she is Aquilan, I also read through the paragraph about her early life. She is from Australia and lived in Egypt. I do think that there is a connection. Aquilans were definitely in Egypt. I found her moving around and her interests in alignment with some of the Aquilan traits, in particular in how she described herself as part extrovert, part wallflower child, and all the diverse roles she plays. When you watch her acting, you're like, wow, she really goes deep into her character. One sidebar is that I've seen people use her film costume for her role Galadriel in Lord of the Rings to describe how Pleiadians look, kind of like Scandinavian, really tall, blue-eyed, pale features. But no, Cate Blanchett is from Aquila. Then after I found this, I thought, okay, if I go down a separate list of diplomats and activists, I may encounter another Aquilan in that list, but I feel like just providing Cate Blanchett as an example is enough to pique your interest, I hope. You may know an Aquilan or Altairian. You may be one. And so it might be comforting to know that other Aquilans or Altairians are here on Earth. Whether you are a Starseed or Earth Angel, we are here for many different reasons, visions, and missions. And whatever your unique mission is, just know that you can connect with other Aquilans as well as other Starseeds. If you may want to discover your Starseed origin and may be interested in an Akashic Records reading with me, I've linked my information of my website in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. If you found my video interesting, a little educational and entertaining, please consider giving it a like and share with me in the comments if you have met an Aquilan or if you may be one or may have spent lifetimes in Aquila and Altair. I love to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.